Alright, welcome back to the channel. Today, Ava and I are going to work on the van. We've got a Transit 350, aka Betty in our family. And I did the rear brakes a while ago, and apparently the wheel seal did not seal. So every time we've been parking and the wheel's this way down, we're getting grease that's leaking out of the axle. So today we're going to pull that out and we're going to replace that O-ring. Let's get started. Alright, before we get started, what we're going to do is we're going to spray everything down and clean off all the grease that's on there. That way we're not getting our hands dirty, and it makes it a lot easier to work on everything. Plus we don't contaminate the new seal. Wheel's still off the ground, but it gives us a support here. There you go. Okay, so if you can't get it off, you have it on X amount of threads, but it's loose. Hit it.
Knock, knock. Oh, careful.
You freaking mean it. Okay, that was almost my face. Jeez.
Oh, there we go.
Alright, set it down. Let's see, we'll have a lot of grease on the inside of the wheel, so we'll have to clean that off too. Yeah.
Okay, where do I put this?
Just roll it over the back over there. And then lay it, you can set it so that the part that faces out is up. Nope, that's the complete opposite of what I said. The part of the wheel that faces out is up. There we go. Okay, so now that we've got a 15mm socket, we're going to take out the hub bolts. So, there you go. And these are one-time use, so we have to throw them away now that we've taken them out. So when you put them in, you stretch them. They're called torque to yield. Alright, so we have our new bolts. We have 5 of them. And then we also have a new O-ring. So we'll have to pull out the axle shaft. And that comes all the way out from the differential, and we'll set that down and put on the new O-ring.
Just pulls off?
Yep. So reach behind there. See, feel how oh, okay. Give it a second to drain. A little fluid comes out.
Unforbidden syrup. Don't use this case.
No, I wouldn't do that. That's stinky. Axle grease stinks. Alright, go ahead and pull the axle shaft out. You're gonna probably have to stand up and pull that out. So as you pull this out, make sure once it reaches a certain point, you grab the actual shaft itself to support it because it's heavy. Right, keep going. I know, it like never ends.
It seems like
on
that.
The end. There you go. Alright, so now watch Mom's car. Stand it up on its lugs. Just push it down into that.
What? Oh, that.
Don't know what that is. Well, I guess let's wipe all this off and then we can put our new O-ring on the shaft itself. Take a little bit of brake clean, spray everything off. Okay, I don't know if you noticed or not, but when Ava pulled out the axle shaft, sitting on there was this little bit of black stuff. And I'm thinking it was paper towel, but it's not because it's kind of rubbery. And what I thought was wrong is what was wrong. The O-ring itself got pinched because it's too loose when I took it off before and did the brakes, and it obviously got squished in there. So what I thought was wrong is exactly what's wrong. So we're going to put a new O-ring on, and then we're going to put the shaft back in, and we'll put on the new bolts. We'll torque them to spec and clean everything off, and we should be good to go. So you get under there with your pick tool, and now just have to be gentler with the new one. So why don't you clean off, you can run that down the shaft. And just,
this thing?
Yep. Make sure we get that clean so it keeps our hands a little cleaner. You're gonna clean up that track where the we're almost out of brake clean. Try to wipe that down. The channel where the O-ring goes in, clean that up. Hang on, I'll hold up this end. You don't have to stretch it or anything yet. Just bring it over. There you go. We'll set that down. And then hang on to the O-ring itself so it's not dry. Anytime you do anything with a rubber anything, you don't want it dry, because if it is, it will bind up more than likely. So just go around and make sure it doesn't twist. Give it a little coating of stuff there.
There you go.
Alright, pretty good. Put a little coating on the inside here. Alright, so go ahead and just keep that as level as you can. Go in, there you go. Keep supporting that end as you go in. Push with the other, there you go. Eventually, okay, feel how it hit something?
Yeah.
Okay, you're gonna have to kind of lift up on it a little bit and kind of change the angle, and eventually it'll click in.
Oh, so it's like slipping through.
So then you get it in and it locks into the splines.
Ah.
Alright, so now that we have everything lined up, we're gonna push in and get our O-ring, our splines. Everything's going to just pop in. Okay, so looking it up, we need to torque the axle bolts to 50 foot-pounds, and then we do another 90-degree turn. Since they're a torque-to-yield bolt, they're actually going to stretch as you do the second turn. That's why you can only use them one time, which is pretty much the case on most Ford brake and suspension components. While I'm in here, just in case anyone is curious, take a look at the brakes, see how they're wearing. Pretty darn well. This was the kit from Power Stop. I did the Power Stop rotors and ceramic pads. I believe it's Z32 or Z23 kit. I don't remember what it is, but it is phenomenal. This thing stops like a race car. It is awesome. So if you have a Transit and you're thinking of doing this kit, it is great. We've been all the way down to South Carolina on these brakes, and they haven't even really touched the rotors. It's impressive, and the pads still look pretty much brand new on both the inside and the outside. But I'll put a link to the video up here, and you can check it out if you want to, of me putting these brakes on. Alright, so Ava's got this set to 50 foot-pounds. Now you tighten that little nut screw at the bottom there and put on your extension that you grabbed. Put it on there, keep it level. You're going to go until you hear it click. Okay, stop.
It's like making a star.
Yep, it's called cross pattern, star pattern, whatever you want to call it. You'd never go in a circle.
Why?
Because it'll tighten it down unevenly. And you'll end up with, if you tighten here, 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 you're pushing all this side down, and this side doesn't have any torque on it, so you can actually bend stuff or cause leaks. So if you go across, you're drawing it in evenly. So now we did step one, that's 50 foot-pounds. So now we have to do another 90 degrees. So you can see, you pretty much have it straight up and down. We need to get the bar over here, so that'd be 90 degrees. What's it's gonna do is it's gonna stretch the bolt and create a certain amount of tension on it, and that's how much they say it needs from the factory. So we went from there to here, 90 degrees. We have to do that on each one. So now that we got the job itself done, we're going to clean up the rim. We're going to try some of this super clean. It's supposed to dissolve grease and dirt. Spray it on there, scrub, and see how it comes out. Alright, so I think that came pretty clean. I mean, compared to what it was, that got a lot of the grime and the grease off. That's all I really wanted, was so that it didn't continuously heat up and run down the front of the rim. And now we can turn it around and we'll finish getting off all the stuff that's left over here. So now that we've got it all cleaned up, on the inside and the outside, it's about as good as it's going to get. It's got 117,000 miles. I mean, she's going to have some breakdown stuff from going down the road. I'll put the wheel back on, get the lugs lined up. Then we have to torque the wheel lugs to 148 foot-pounds. So one more thing you need to do after we've now taken out the axle, we lost some fluid. So we need to make sure that we're still good on our fluid level. Alright, so what we did is we put in some differential fluid just till it started to run out of the hole, and then we're going to put the drain plug back in, assuming I don't drop it. But we'll tighten this down. Doesn't take much. Snug and a little doesn't have to be much. All right, that's going to do it for today. Thanks for taking the time to watch. It was a pretty easy fix to do the wheel seal. Kind of just one of those things that happens when you're doing repairs and the O-ring just got a little big, and I should have replaced it originally, but I didn't. Now I learned the lesson. New parts every time, all the time. Thanks for taking the time to watch. Hit like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. And a special thanks to Ava for doing all the heavy lifting for me.
Yeah.
Ah, B!
Run! Voice activated.
I know.
Light reflected.
Reflecting it back.
Yeah. Hey guys, thank you for watching the video. We did the car.
Oh, that about sums it up. I mean, I don't think I need to even participate.